So this is pretty much how your regular part, right? Kind of off-centered?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to just go through the bottom, just the perimeter, just to clean it up, okay? Do you like your hair cut at an angle, like rounded, or do you like it straight across?
At an angle.
Okay.
I don't like it straight across.
Okay.
It's like a V already.
Yep. Okay. Great.
Just, yeah, keep that.
Right.
Because somehow you always do it that way.
Yeah.
You pick up
Right.
straight.
Because of the occipital bone, from the occipital bone down, your hairline is longer
Right.
down here, so it always ends up looking like.
I had waxed them in the
Did
back.
you?
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Not long ago.
And if anybody ever wants to get, if they're done waxing, with waxing and you want to do laser hair removal, you all know that if you have gray hair, you can't laser it. Laser won't work with gray hair.
Yeah, because that's that pigment.
That's right. They're trying to come out with a new laser for that.
They're going to.
Yeah, they will.
Because before the laser can work on dark skin. And now
Right,
they have
right.
laser to work on dark skin. So.
Right. Her mid-lengths and their ends.
Her ends are bad, yeah.
Well, yeah, your color, what happens is the ends just get kind of, the old color and they get kind of frayed. I'm just going to go in and texture the very bottom. I'm not doing a straight cut. I'm kind of point cutting, so it's like.
I cut my hair in August last time, so it's not like.
Yeah, it's about time.
Yeah.
I know.
Wow. So you can even, either do a straight cut, or if you like a little bit of texture. See your end.
Are you using your snipping fingers?
Yes, I am.
You are?
Yep.
That would be interesting to see how you do that.
I go back and forth from doing blunt because I think what happens is it creates texture, but it also creates, you need a weight line down here
Right.
and more movement.
I used to have like really thick hair, and now it's become fine. Why?
Remember, that's still being covered up as this is growing. It's still coming, going to be on your mid-lengths and ends. And our ends are usually, you have much more of your density
In the back.
through this part of the head,
Right,
right?
right.
And then the ends just kind of free hanging. They feel much thinner. And it looks like your color could probably be pulled and left on your ends for a little bit. Or just use like a demi color to even out the porosity on the ends of your hair. And the thing that would be great for you is if you use maybe even a thickener, on your ends.
Oh.
Okay, so
thickener.
what, yeah, just
Really?
like, just on the ends.
I have something for ends. For ends split though, not
For
thickener.
split. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I did the perimeter, but I didn't do the sides yet. I haven't connected the sides. It's almost like a puzzle, I don't know how they're teaching now, but, you cut the perimeter, and then you cut where you want your layers to fall. And then you connect the dots, depending on what angle of the layer you want. She wants a long over-directed layer, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Low layers.
Long layers. Fill some of the porosity out. Fill the porosity in the ends, either with a demi color.
Maybe 9V the Redken, the shades EQ.
Yeah, Shades EQ is great.
Yeah. Maybe I'll do that now.
Mix it with something though.
Yeah,
what?
absolutely.
Anything like 9NB or something else, because 9V alone can give you a gray look.
A little bit gray, right, because of the violet, right.
I see.
If you had really orange hair, then maybe 9V alone, but
I see. Mix it with what? 9 what?
you could do 9V,
What?
and you could do even just a cupful of 9NB, or you could do 1.5 9V and half 9NB.
Okay, I'll ask you.
See, I can do both on her. She's got her ends are very fine,
Right. It's,
and so,
that needs to go.
yeah. So I'm just going to do one cut here. Okay, let's see. And then I can go back and texture that. You know,
No.
who has a really nice oil is Farouk has a nice one. It's got truffle oil in it, and it's really nice. You can use it on your body
What?
and in your hair.
The Chi company?
Yeah, the Chi Company, right? For those of you who are left-handed, how are you learning how to cut hair? When I stood, thank you, I had to learn watching in the mirror. Oh, it's just a spray.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody around me was right-handed, and I could not, for the life of me, turn everything around. You know, everybody creates their own style and technique of cutting, but as long as you're, using the same principles of cutting, you'll find your own way. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. Okay, so now I'm just gonna slice into the top just to give her some connection from the top to the back of her layers. And then I'll go through and then I'll cross-check everything. When's the last time you had a haircut?
In August.
And hair, not only the breakage, the dryness, but hair doesn't grow even, One side
It's longer than the
is
other.
longer than the other.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think the haircut, it was like that.
And how easy it is to have these on. I don't even think about it. And I don't worry about getting too close to my finger when I'm cutting. So for me, even after all these years, I've had some of my friends say, "Well, how do you wear those? What does that say to your customer if you're wearing them, that you're not good enough cutting hair?" I said, "No, it actually tells my client that I care enough to get a really precise haircut and not injure myself." And they appreciate it.
I think so, why not?
Okay, so once again, I'm going to check my lines from the front to the back. And I should have over-directed this way because she wants her layers to be really long. And then I'm going to connect it and make sure that it all connects from the back. Okay, that's good. Now do this side. And what are you doing with the bangs? You just want to keep them long as they are? Okay,
Yes.
so I'm just kind of going through and connecting them.
Okay. Yeah, I don't want your bangs.
There's so many ways to do layers, and it's just where do you want your weight line, where do you want your layering to start, how much, volume. Again, layering, some people think that more layers, more volume. Not always true. It's the way you cut the layers. There's many different angles that you can cut layers to give different shapes to the head. You can do, you can always do like a V shape, like a chevron, or you can do like a radial where it's all even all the way around. Some people have,
I have
I'm flat right here, yeah.
And then flat here too.
Right.
So somebody like me, we need a lot of layers in the back.
Exactly.
Yeah, because
Yes, it's hard, and different types of textures of hair too. Oops.
Right.
You find people that are really good with curly hair.
that's true.
Okay. And I'm just going to go back through connected with the rest of the cut on the sides, because the hair on the sides has a different texture. A lot of times we don't have as much hair right in front of the ears. And also, I don't know what you guys do with this. I always called it a hair tag. You ever see a piece of hair that hangs from the back? Sometimes I'll go in.
That's right.
I'll go in and I'll take the back right behind and I'll do like a C shaping and just cut that piece out. Just so it doesn't hang forward. So I'll go into the back and I'll take this little piece back here. Let's dry it and see. Don't let people leave with wet hair. Sometimes they'll say, oh, I can go blow it dry at home. Then they get home and they realize the cut's not right, and then they're mad at you. I try to talk all my clients into sticking around. Another thing is educating your clients on their hair care at home. I'm going to have these for retail also, because they want to be able to use the tools that you guys use at their home. And these are great to sell. Make more money on in your salon. So when I talk to my clients about blow drying, I tell them to not pull your brush through. Dry the hair most of the way until it's just slightly damp, and then you do most of your styling because you just don't want to stretch the hair. You ever hear people saying, oh yeah, I brush my hair when it's wet? Absolutely.
It's not good.
Not good at all. And this is how you have to educate your clients. We didn't have blow dryers. The hair, we had to cut pieces out. Even the packaging. It was fun. I had so much fun because it actually dries without the heat, without as much heat. So it's like an infrared thing in there. I was given it at the show, so I don't know enough about it. I probably should read more. But it's a nice dryer. Yeah, I love this pinky guard. It actually helps me to hold the hair and it doesn't slip. No, it isn't hot, is it? Which is a really, really pretty. And you know, this dryer is kind of neat. You don't have to really do a cool down with it because it doesn't get so hot. I mean, it's hot enough, but it like cools itself down. So it closes the cuticle so nicely. And that oil helps too. So then I'm just going to go back through it. Sorry. Check the cut. Good.
That was good.
How's that look?
Hello.
Look at her ends. There's so much movement at her ends. These are great. That's great.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for being a model.
I needed a haircut. I was just didn't want to go pay somebody.
She just wants it really, real clean, nice layers. So I mean, you know, you can go back in and you can slice in, and you can put some long, you know, really cut into it. But you know, that takes a certain kind of a client that wants that look. How's it look from the front since I don't have a mirror?
Here.
Oh wow,
I like it straight.
you like it smooth?
What is this flat iron?
What is this one?
Yeah, what brand?
This is Babeless.
Ah, Babyless. Oh,
I like it.
You like it?
I like it better than the cheap. And that actually pulls, gives more volume because you're going away from the root,
interesting.
right? So I'll come forward. That's just, yeah, from that.
That's experience.
That's, yeah, right. Experience.
Yeah.
And working, and then if you know, you get to the bottom, just don't like that. And you kind of turn it a little, yeah, it just came out. And you just turn it just a little bit, you get that nice little bend.
As soon as I woke up, I did like a half, but I couldn't finish it. And somebody, look, I didn't want it.
Go ahead. Okay,
That's it.
yeah, go check it out.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. .com. We're hairdressers. We cut our fingers, don't we? We cut, we burn. How many of you have burned your fingers so far? How many of you have cut your fingers? What happens when you cut your fingers? Do you put a Band-Aid on? No. Then what happens with the Band-Aid?
Comes off.
Cut the Band-Aid off. The Band-Aid slips and slides while you are in water. So I've got a solution to that, which is snip shields. And I'm going to talk today about a few things because snip shields have pretty much morphed into other applications. So I'm going to show you 3 applications today that these snip shields, these little finger sleeves, small package but big solution, and the benefits of protecting your fingers from burns and cuts while you are working in a busy salon on a busy day. Last thing you want to do is lose a day of work because you have to have stitches or you're bleeding, and sometimes it doesn't always stop that easily, and like I said, with Band-Aids they don't always stay on. These actually have a medical grade fabric, so if you do cut your finger, you just slip these on, because I've done that. I've cut my knuckle and then I put them on, it stops the bleeding, and they can be sanitized, and they're latex free, they're cut and water resistant. Nothing's cut proof, but they will resist cutting. If you watched me at the show, I was actually cutting into them. And they will not dull your scissors, which is great, but they will protect your greatest assets, because if you're burned, if you're cut, and you're using chemicals, it does not feel good. It hurts. And the clients actually love it. My clients have said, God, those are so fun. Why don't you bling them? Why don't you put some decoration on them? So it's a conversation piece too. They are washable and they last a long time. I mean, you could cut several times. It depends on what kind of cutting you're doing. And as long as you don't slice them off, they're great. So they actually feel like little beer cozies. If you ever put something around your finger, I've had other people tell me they have arthritis from cutting hair. These are fabulous. They warm the joints because of the type of fabric they are. They keep the joints of your fingers really warm while you're working. So I'm going to just show you what I was showing at the show. I think a lot of you had seen that cutting with these, you can cut and you can cut into them, but they're actually a great guide. The reason why I have colors like this is because you need a guide, and if you have black hair and I have black snip shields on, couldn't see a guide. So they're really great. They act as a guide. Doing razor cuts, have you found that when you're cutting with a razor, sometimes you won't usually cut your finger, but you get a dry patch. Depends on the type of cutting. If you're cutting into the hair, or you're just texturing hair, this actually, again, as a guide, you can use it to follow along. I had a gentleman at the show, and all he does when he uses his razors is he does a style where he will take the razor, lay it on the hair, and just pull the hair. And that's how he cuts. He does the entire cut. Type of hair cutting that he does where he's using the snip shield guards to hold the hair, and as a guide when he just pulls the hair with the razor. It's a different type of a cutting style. This is 450 degrees on my fingers. And the only thing, you're not going to sit there and put these on your fingers, but what's great is when you are flat ironing hair. And then you can come back in, pick up that hot hair. Protect your fingers from burns, and also close the cuticle of your client's hair. It makes a lot more shine. It's beautiful. The other thing that I have, which we started with, is a pinky guard. I know the dry bars. Has everybody seen dry bars? Anybody want to work for a dry bar? Just do blow drying. Well, a lot of times when I've watched them, they're picking up hair with their pinkies, and I see these girls pick it up and they drop it because it's hot. They're using round brushes and blow dryers. So I brought these to the dry bar, and they're pinning it up here. Take another piece, blow dry this, take it in my fingers, and not burn my hand. Pull them all the way up, and they will protect the webbing of your finger, which is where most of us cut here, or we do a little V cut on the top. But I've created scar tissue on the top of my finger, so what happens is I have almost like a bump where the cuts have been. And so I cut them again and again. So it doesn't matter if you're a student or you're a master cutter, we all cut our fingers. I have them on a lot of hands of some of my friends that work in Hollywood and Beverly Hills, and they said they're fun, they're great, they feel good having them on, they feel that they're a great benefit, and a lot of them are using them mostly for flat ironing. Thank you, thanks for your patience.